Now that we've applied the reset rule to the body, we also need to apply the reset rule to our unordered list item, which is home. And we're going to add that CSS in under footer. Now to target the unordered list, hash nav to target the div the unordered list is sitting in, UL for unordered list. So we're targeting the nav div and then the unordered list. And then we can put in an open and close curly brackets and add some space. Go back to in between those curly brackets and do the same as we did with the body. Margin 0, semicolon, next line, padding, colon, 0, semicolon, and save. And now watch what happens to the word home when we click back inside the browser window. See how the word home jumped up to the top left? That's because we just targeted this unordered list item and we've reset its rule so that there is no margin and no padding. Following that, we want to add a couple of button states or link states in this navigation section, and we use list items to add navigation to our website. So we need to have another 2 in here, and to do that we're going to copy the list item which wraps around the word home. We're going to put our cursor in after the closing tag for the list item, hit return and then paste, return and then paste. So we have added 2 more link items. When you click inside this window, you'll notice that these list items sit one on top of the other. That's because they are block level elements and we need to change them to inline elements. First we're going to change the name of these list items because we don't need 3 home tabs, we only need 1. The next one will be tips and the last one will be selectors. Click back in this window and you can see that the name has changed. So what you've effectively done is added 2 more list items inside this unordered list tag, which is wrapped inside the navdiv tag. You see how they're nested? The list items are nested inside the unordered list and the unordered list is nested inside the div. And if we go one step further than that, the navdiv is nested inside the masthead, and then the masthead of course is nested inside the body. The next thing we're going to do is remove these bullets. Now to do that, we need to target the list items themselves and to apply a list style of none to them. And we also need to float them left so that they sit up next to one another. To do that, we're going to add another selector in underneath the nav unordered list called nav space UL for unordered list space LI. So we're targeting the nav div, the unordered list, and the list item itself. And it's very important that you get these selectors in the correct order because the cascade works from top to bottom. And the declaration I'm going to add to the list item is list style and then put in none. And when I save that and click on this side, you can see that the bullets disappear. So that declaration of list style and none will remove the bullets from the list item, providing you have the list item targeted correctly. The next declaration we need to put in is float left. And watch what happens. You see, when they float left, they sit one up next to each other, but when you add a float command, it also shrink wraps your tags. So we need to add a width and a height to add area for each of these buttons. And I know that our original artboard for each of our buttons was 162 pixels wide by 70 pixels high. Now I wrote that information down before so I know that it's true, and I'm going to add in after float left width 162 px for pixels, semicolon, space, height 70 pixels, semicolon, and then I'm going to click back on this side and have a look. Now the best way to preview is to use your actual browser window because this Dreamweaver preview isn't always accurate. So now I can see that I have home, tips and selectors sitting apart from each other because now the list item is seeing that width and height that we've applied to it. Just close that down